Jason and Miguel had been best friends since college, both sharing a deep love for rock climbing and the outdoors. After climbing many peaks together, they decided to take on their biggest challenge, yet El Capitan in Yosemite National Park, known as one of the hardest and tallest rock formations in the world. It stood like a giant wall, drawing climbers from around the globe. The two men had trained for months, studying maps, practicing techniques, and preparing their gear. They were excited, confident, and in the best shape of their lives. On a bright summer morning, they set out for the climb. The last photo taken of them shows both smiling, arms around each other, ropes and harnesses strapped tightly, ready for the challenge ahead. But that was the last time anyone saw them. When they didn't return after 3 days, a search team was sent out. Helicopters flew over the area, rangers scouted trails, and other climbers were questioned, but there was no trace, no gear, no ropes, not even a dropped water bottle. It was like they had disappeared into thin air. Their families were devastated. Search efforts went on for weeks, but eventually the rangers had no choice but to stop. The mountain had taken many lives before, and sadly, Jason and Miguel were added to the list of climbers who never made it back. Years passed. El Capitan remained popular among climbers, and Jason and Miguel's story became part of the local legends. Many who visited the park heard the tale and looked up at the towering rock, wondering what really happened. Some believed they fell into a hidden crevice. Others thought an animal might have attacked them. A few hikers even shared strange stories of hearing voices or seeing flashes of light on a mountain at night, but no real evidence ever came forward. That was until 3 years later when a group of geology students came to the park for research. They were studying rock formations and changes in cracks due to temperature and erosion. One afternoon, while walking through a forest path near the base of the mountain, they found a large boulder with a deep crack running through it. The rock had recently split more, likely due to heavy rains that had loosened the earth. As they inspected the inside of the crack, they noticed something unusual, something that looked man-made. At first they thought it was just trash left behind, but as they looked closer, they saw something shiny wedged deep inside the stone. They called a park ranger, who arrived quickly and began to carefully clear away the dirt. What they pulled out made everyone go silent. It was a climbing harness, still intact, and clearly marked with the initials Mr. Miguel Rodriguez. Nearby, another harness was found, this one tagged with Jason Carter. The discovery shocked everyone. Investigators were immediately called in, and a full team returned to the site. They carefully searched the area around the rock and used tools to open the crack wider. What they found inside was both heartbreaking and baffling. The remains of 2 bodies were tucked inside the rock's hollow space, partially fossilized by time and weather. Their climbing gear was still with them: helmets, gloves, even a small camera which, amazingly, still had a memory card inside. Forensic experts were able to confirm the bodies were indeed Jason and Miguel. But the biggest mystery remained. How did they end up inside the rock? Geologists believe the boulder may have broken off from higher up the mountain during a small rock slide. The men could have been resting in a small crevice or cave when the boulder fell and trapped them inside. Over time, more rocks and dirt might have buried the area, hiding all signs from view. Still, the idea that a boulder could completely seal to people inside without a single clue for years was hard to accept. Park officials were left stunned, calling it one of the strangest discoveries in Yosemite history. News spread quickly, and reporters from all over came to cover the story. But the most haunting detail came from the memory card found in the camera. The images on the camera gave a glimpse into their final moments. The last few photos showed Jason and Miguel smiling, joking, and setting up a small camp near a rocky ledge. The final image, however, was blurry and dark. Investigators enhanced it and could make out what looked like falling rocks in the background and a faint image of Miguel holding his hand out toward the lens. There was also a short video, only 20 seconds long. In it, Miguel could be heard breathing heavily, saying something like, "We're trapped. If anyone finds this," before the video cut off. No one could explain how the camera had survived or why no one had heard their cries for help. It was chilling and tragic, but it offered closure that the families had longed for. The 2 friends had not been careless. They had simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nature had hidden them in one of the most unimaginable ways. Park rangers set up a memorial near the site, a small plaque that read, "In memory of Jason Carter and Miguel Rodriguez, brave climbers and best friends, forever part of the mountain they loved." Even after the memorial was placed, many people still visit the rock with the deep crack, now known as the Silent Stone. Some leave flowers, while others place climbing gloves or ropes as tribute. Climbers say that standing near the rock gives a strange feeling, like being watched or surrounded by silence too deep to describe. Some believe the mountain remembers those it claims. Others think the story is a reminder of how quickly things can change in nature. Jason and Miguel's story is still told around campfires and in climbing communities across the country. It serves as both a warning and a tribute to be prepared, to respect the mountain, and to never forget those who went before. Their families, though heartbroken, finally found peace, knowing the truth. The mystery of their disappearance had been solved in the most unexpected way, but the shock of how they were found sealed inside a boulder for 3 years, remains one of the strangest tales in outdoor history. And for those who visit El Capitan, their story lives on in the wind, the stone, and the heart of every climber who dares to dream of the summit.